Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be starting our series on Astropalmistry, and we're going to do so by looking at the first natural sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. Now, for those of you that didn't see the last video, Astropalmistry is basically the same as regular palmistry, which uses planets, but this incorporates the zodiac signs into it. So Aries, Scorpio, Sagittarius, all of those. It's a lot more detailed and gives a whole lot more accuracy. So in this video, we're going to look at what Aries means, what it represents, and also where it's found or where its lines are found on the hand as well. We're also going to be having a look at the different degrees of Aries, which are either positive or negative. That's all in this video. Oh, and the other thing I should mention is that we're not actually looking at Aries, the sun sign. So if you were born between the 22nd of March to the 22nd of April, then you're an Aries sun sign. That's not what we're looking at. Everybody has Aries in their birth chart because Aries is part of the constellation. So what we're about to talk about here today is applicable to everyone, not just people who are born in Aries. Okay, so to figure this out, let's have a look at what Aries represents first. Aries, as I said before, is the first natural zodiac sign, and it marks the beginning of the constellation, and by analogy, therefore, it's also the beginning of your life too. So Aries is ruled by the planet Mars, and if you have a look at where the lifeline starts on your hands, the first mount it crosses is a mount of Mars, and that's sort of how these two things correlate here. The energy of Aries, it's all about self-identity. It's asking questions like, who am I and why am I here? And therefore it represents things like confidence, willpower, and also independence. And it's also a fire sign too, so if you think of fire as consuming everything that it comes into contact with, then that's really what Aries is. It just absorbs everything and it either destroys it or it recreates it. That's why they call it raw energy. So where is Aries? It's on the top phalange of the index finger. Now I want you to have a look for either vertical or horizontal micro lines that are in this area. And these lines represent the degrees of Aries, and that's either active in your hand or on your birth chart. So each zodiac sign has 30 degrees to it, and that's because there's 12 zodiac signs that revolve around 360 degrees. So 360 degrees divided by 12 is 30 degrees. So Aries and every other sign in the zodiac has 30 degrees to it. Now, to find which degrees of Aries is important for you, mark the top of the finger as 0 degrees and the bottom of that phalange as 30 degrees. So the midpoint over here becomes 15 degrees and the quarter points become 7.5 degrees and 22.5 degrees. So a horizontal line here, like in this example, means that there's a planet somewhere in the zodiac that's influencing 19 degrees of Aries and also 25 degrees of Aries. Now horizontal lines are a sign of debilitation, which means inauspicious energy. So at these 2 points, there's something negative that's going to happen whenever a planet transits over these 2 spots. On the other hand, vertical lines are auspicious energy, and we can time them from the top of the line itself. So in this example here, it's 5 degrees and 16 degrees Aries. So whenever a planet transits over these 2 points in the night sky, then something good is going to happen to this person. Alright, so let's have a look at another example. Over here we can see auspicious energy with vertical lines at 20 degrees and also 24 degrees of Aries. And we can see debilitated energy with the horizontal lines at 23 degrees and also at 27 degrees. So what that means is whenever a planet transits between 20 degrees to 27 degrees, it's going to give this person both good and bad effects. So if you look at the sun, whenever that transits this point here, which is around about the 15th of April through to about the 22nd of April, it's going to give a good event first to this person, then a bad one, then a good one, and then a bad one. So 4 things are going to happen for this person within that week, every year, non-stop, throughout their lives basically. Now let's have a look at another example. Now, as you can see, there's very little vertical or horizontal lines here. So that means that there's very little influence of other planets on this sign itself. So whenever a planet does transit this place, it won't affect this person all that much. Now just to clarify what I mean by transits, every planet travels through the zodiac sign. So the moon goes through it about once every 28 days, the sun, Mercury and Venus go through it every 12 months approximately. Then the outer planets, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, well, they take their time. They kind of go on their own schedule there. So whenever a planet is measured within these degrees, then something is going to happen on your hand. And what that something is depends on the major lines on the hand itself. So you can see how you can start to time things more accurately here. In that example we were giving before, you could pinpoint 4 events happening within a week for a single individual. As such, normal palmistry or the traditional systems of palmistry, you could only time an event within a 12-month window. Here you can get it down to within a week, or more generally within a month as well. Right guys, that is Aries on your hand. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, because we are going to do a whole series on each zodiac sign. We're also going to figure out how to tell where the different planets are that were in the birth chart when you were born. So if you want to learn more about that, hit like and subscribe. Thanks a lot guys.